No one is really prepared for what's going to happen next, guys. This is just absurd right now. Or is it that when we say that the price of Bitcoin will reach $300,000 by maybe next year, it seems like our opinions are in agreement with those who know why Justin from Bitcoin magazine ARK Invest updated their prediction for the price of Bitcoin in 2030 to $2.4 million? The only way it could actually reach that amount is if we start accelerating from now on. It's mind-boggling, guys. Bull case assumptions for active supply. Even if you invest at this high level, you won't lose by 2030, since the base case of what they're thinking is $1, $2 million, and then bear case, $500,000. They're probably saying this right now. It's technically correct because the bear case didn't even put the extreme bear case, which is probably close to zero. But honestly, I think these prices are possible before the collapse and much faster than 2030, as they suggest right here. That's crazy too. 4 million, huh? The only way XRP and our altcoins will pump is if Bitcoin pumps this ridiculously hard. Remember that, never forget, and let's go because it seems like the market is getting euphoric again, and that's what we need time to realize. The parabolic move, consolidation, parabolic shift, global liquidity consolidation, parabolic move, consolidation, parabolic move happening right now for Bitcoin, parabola consolidation, parabolic consolidation, and another parabolic move incoming right, which all matches up together, which tells me that the everything pump is happening as we speak, right? This is the banana zone. We're entering it, guys, where everything goes full on bananas 1 month later, right on schedule from zero hedge, and this is before the Fed, ECB, and other banks around the globe started easing now. This is Bitcoin versus global M2, guys. Perhaps the bottom is already in. Wow, that's crazy. Is the bottom in? The thing is on the higher time frames for Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, and all your scoins. There are bullish divergences on the weekly time frame, and plus right on the higher time frames. That's a strong case for the bottom being in, right? I wouldn't doubt that, guys, and global M2 says the bottom is already in for every crypto, right? Because Bitcoin and global, and the global money supply M2 have been correlated to each other. Global M2, the green line, has been skyrocketing, okay, which means Bitcoin should follow it here soon. 150K, you guys can see how it develops, and Bitcoin might be on the horizon by June. That's a parabolic move higher, right? It goes higher and steeper, and it gets faster, guys, like that. I mean, it's possible what's happening to the Indian M2 money supply. So everyone is just going to hire, guys, you know, all these other countries. And Donald Trump just gave one of the biggest signals that something positive is happening with the markets. He said, "Just landed in Rome. A good day in talks and meetings with Russia and Ukraine. And the two sides should now meet at very high levels to finish it off. Most of the major points are agreed to stop the bloodshed now, and we will be wherever is necessary to help facilitate the end to this cruel and senseless war, guys." China exempts certain UNC imports from 125% tariffs. It's amazing how bullish news keeps coming up. It seems like every day now since the cryptocurrency market started pumping, right? But when we're at the bottom, there's a lot of negative news. The end isn't yet, though, because number 2 is this. Trump has asked a reporter if he would support banning congressional stock trading. He ends by saying, "Well, I watched Nancy Pelosi get rich through insider information, and I would be okay with it. If they send that to me, I would do it." The reporter concludes by asking, "You'll sign it?" According to Trump, of course, absolutely. So he watched Nancy Pelosi get rich through insider information, and she's not in prison. Look at that, not in jail, no backlash, nothing happens, right? Technically, we're not insider traders, but the information we get from riddles can be used as an argument that we are kind of in a no, but not really, because Nancy Pelosi gets calls to buy certain stocks. I guess I don't know how it works, to be honest, but before they announce something positive with that stock, with that company, and then the stock shoots up, and then she sells. That's why I'm saying I need to be a politician and get in this game, right? Because it's free money If you want to become filthy rich, become a politician. I'm telling you, you have friends behind the scenes that will help you. Simple. But if Trump, or when Trump signs this law that they cannot trade anymore, the top is in. Remember the saying, okay, they sold multiple times before the top occurred. Just remember, but until then, we're going to keep on. So it's quite clear, guys. I don't know why people are so fearful of the markets when they haven't really gotten out. When you see the billionaires get out, you get out too. It's just simple as following the money. For now, let us go to millions of dollars of Bitcoin, hundreds of XRP, then Ethereum 30,000. I'm not sure, but BlackRock claims that if you zoom out, Bitcoin has already separated from tech equities over the long term. In actuality, Bitcoin flourishes when there is greater uncertainty. But this is BlackRock is stating that it's time to be positive and is going to separate from U.S. tech companies. Many people are discussing selling U.S. assets in the global markets. Do you believe that this is the right time? Over the long term, cryptocurrency is decoupled from U.S. tech stocks. I believe that you should consider whether you are looking at the short term or long term. Public company Selmer Scientific buys another 111 Bitcoin worth $10 million. This United States senator purchased up to $250K in a Bitwise spot Bitcoin ETF. What does he know? A politician. They're even calling the shadow banks, the shadow money, to flood their money into Bitcoin. Look at this. In such times, society needs resilient institutions. Institutions like the Swiss National Bank. And here, I want to point out a fundamental difference to other speakers. The green activists want you to support their agenda. They distract the Swiss National Bank from its mission. In contrast, the Bitcoin initiative aims to assist the national bank by giving it a monetary tool for the digital age. How is Bitcoin a unique asset? I must admit that it may not be worth much in situations that most of you consider typical, but it can be worth a lot in a particular scenario of a multipolar world order where public confidence in government debt is eroding. The market's indication that this scenario is not implausible from an economic standpoint is the high price of gold and Bitcoin. As anyone with a formal education in portfolio theory knows, the question is not whether to hold an arrow security, but rather how much to hold. I'll let the knowledgeable staff at the Swiss National Bank determine the appropriate amount, but I'm fairly certain that it is more than the 1,000 Bitcoin you currently hold indirectly through shares of companies that have Bitcoins. Bitcoin is similar to an arrow security named after Nobel Prize winner Kenneth Arrow. We are here to assist you with these concerns if you would like our assistance. Take a look at that. I'm glad we're all in, guys, or here to witness it all. It's not the nature of ice. But let's see what happens next. This is insane. They're literally going to get every bank, every company, every country buying Bitcoin until it's probably close to $1 million before the collapse.